gonna get a good, nice tan. He's gonna
get a beautiful tan in Florida.
You know what I mean? That shit.
My God, I didn't know.
The white people. Oh, he's a minority. You shouldn't be talking about that. Like, fam, y'all don't know what the fuck y'all talking about at the end of the day.
I did not know that was a thing. So they're saying that his father's black?
Yes, he's saying his father's black.
He's saying his father's black.
We haven't seen a picture yet. We need to get that identification. What's that? Yeah. We need authentication.
We're gonna right.
I'm a Dr. Umar this all the way. I'm on right now. I need a real live kufi so I can put it on when we're doing some topics like that.
We're gonna get some kufis.
I'm about to launch it. What up? It's your boy T.
Hey, it's your man B.
And you on the ride up.
My man is on the ride up.
Episode 12.
Episode 12. Is that the Tom Brady episode? Rest in peace.
Rest in peace?
Yeah, his career is done.
He dead? You say, who the fuck says rest in peace to somebody's career?
I don't care about it.
That's a moment of shit right there, Brian. We got Sir Ron Brown with his new band ominous and shit.
What's going on? What's going on social media world? How it do?
So we going Tom Brady with it?
We got.
Who right? Who else do we do it? Let's we go Johnson.
What's that, huh?
I guess it's better than going Chris Whitney.
Wow, that's a deep cut.
That's
a Bullets Wizards deep cut. That's an Easter egg right there for the Wizards.
Was that an Easter egg?
We going Tom Goat Brady episode? Okay.
Let's go Thomas Brady on that.
I mean, I feel because he didn't won so much, I'll let that slide because I would prefer to be the bad man's episode, but it is what it is.
Oh, bad man.
Who might be a watch?
My wife just gave me the DX sign, so I don't know what's going on.
All right, fellas, we got a lot of shit to get into. Let's get into it. Got a lot of things to talk about.
Best.
We want to talk about the Commanders. We want to talk about Kristaps Porzingis. What we talking about?
Let's talk about the Wizards real quick first because
Let's talk Kristaps Porzingis, baby. What's up?
The guy that's not going to play this year.
So fucking what?
The unicorn.
Man.
You got the unicorn.
The unicorn
there's like 3 other unicorns now. He's done for as far as the unicorn. So
my God.
Jokic.
You put the P in pessimistic. You know that, Brian?
I didn't say he's not a good player. What they did was I'm happy with LT. I'm happy with what they did. They turned 2 underperforming players that may not ever perform again into one guy that may perform if he's not, hurt, which he's been hurt most of his career. It is what it is. I'm not, what I mean? He's good when he plays, but he doesn't play a lot.
When he's on that court,
when he's on the court, he's good.
When he's on that, he's a problem.
His shot percentages has gone down a little bit for the last few years, but I think that's a lot of the testament to that is because he's not playing. You know what I mean?
You know why I'm excited about him? Because he plays similar to Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
He can play similar to Jokic. And I would like to see how West can use him in a fashion. Not just Jokic, but also Nurkic. Because West was there when they had Nurkic on that.
Yeah. You breaking up, T, but yeah, that was the solid move of the day for Tommy Shepard. We can talk about Kristaps when you get back on, but is that me or y'all?
Is that I don't know. I don't have anything on.
I think T got stuck, but that as far as the Wizards moves is concerned, Kristaps for Towns and Dinwiddie. it's a solid move, but you got to remember that you signed Dinwiddie last offseason. You just signed him to a 3-year deal, and then you just signed Bertans to a 4-year deal for a lot of money, and you had to clean up that mess. So you know what I mean? It's a good cleanup. It's probably Grunfeld was good for cleanups, and he did it. And Shepherd outperformed him as far as the cleanup is concerned. But you know what I mean? You gotta like, you can't just look at it in a vacuum. Oh, we got Kristaps. Okay. I mean, is he gonna play this year? You don't know. He's been hurt this last couple of weeks at least. And he might sit down for, you know, as long as they want to tank. They're gonna tank. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna keep losing. They were like they're on a 7-game losing streak. And like a 7-game losing streak. So it's like they're already tanking without, you know, doing any moves. A couple of my issues with what happened today was my biggest issue was they gave up Harrell for Ish Smith, which
I'm
an Ish Smith fan. No, I'm an Ish Smith fan. I like Ish Smith. But giving up Harrell, who could have gone to a contender, and they probably would have gave up a draft pick for, you settle for Ish Smith. And I think I know why. It's because of the strife that's in the locker room right now, or was a couple hours ago. You know, KCP got punched by Harrell. Bertans didn't like Denny, or Denny doesn't like Bertans. Bill, even though he green-lighted Dinwiddie's signing and actually wanted Dinwiddie to come to the team, 4 months later, he doesn't like Dinwiddie, and they said, yo, you can't be a leader here. And even though there's a leadership vacuum on this team, obviously, because you go 10-3 and the wheels fall off like this, that means to me, and you couldn't, and it all falls apart. It was like everybody's on either social media or in the media news talking about their displeasure. That to me, it spells a lack of leadership. If things are getting out on social media, in the news, there's a lack of leadership. But that's when you're supposed to circle the wagons, and the wheels fell off the wagons. That's a problem to me. That spells a bigger problem on that team than just talent. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, cool. Dinwiddie's gone because he didn't play well with Bill. But why? Why didn't he play well? Bill is the common denominator in the last 2 years. Tommy Shepherd is a common denominator in the last 2 years. But Ted Leonsis is a common denominator in the last 15, 18 years. So like, we just gotta look at it at a bigger scope. Like I don't want to look at the trees and miss the forest. The forest is there, and it's an enchanted forest that's got some weird magical spells that, you know, I mean, we need to look at before we actually get hope again. I had hope at 10-3. That's not going to happen again. Not going to happen again. Win 50.
So much hope that you said.
I did say. And you know why? And this is why I'm hard on them right now, and I'm hard on these trades because I still feel that way. They were a deep ass team. They were a deep ass team, and they should not have gone from 10-3 to 23-28 or 8 or something like that. Where they're at now.
But were these trades to free up more PT for, you know, guys like Denny and guys like Rui?
I don't know, because Kristaps, if Kristaps is going to play this year, they all play the same position. Denny plays the 4.
Except for he's a lot better.
Denny plays the 4. Rui plays the 4. And so,
what I'm saying is, can you mix up the front court now?
I mean, maybe
can you stretch the front court now, because Kristaps is more of a stretch guy, right?
He can go 5. He can be a 5. You still got Bryant and you still got Gafford. So that's one of the reasons why they had to move Harrell or move one of the three guys because Bryant came back.
Right.
And, I'm sorry. Bryant came back and
trash.
And Gafford was still there. So and Gafford's talented. So they had to move Harrell because he was, to me, I don't know if you heard what I said to you. It was like they had to break up the toxicity in the locker room. I think that was a problem this year, especially when the shit just fell out. The wheels came off on that 10-3, and it's just been a long 50 games after that. So
man, I went to the game the other day when they played against the Heat. Obviously, the Heat is a better team. Obviously, record wise, just coaching wise, they're a better team. But this team defense is horrendous, and it's been horrendous for like the last 5 years, at least.
So this is the thing, T. I'm gonna let you talk. The defense when they went 10-3 was spectacular.
I'm about to answer the question. I'm about to give you an answer in the statement. One of the biggest things that you can do to help your defense is be efficient on offense, moving the ball on offense, because in basketball, the guy that got to check you got to check them too. Transition. So if you are moving the ball around and making the defense move, they're not as good or they're not as fresh on the other side of the court.
Right.
Look, I mean, listen, I love Bradley Beal, so I don't want to point the finger at Bradley Beal.
I'm going to point the finger at him.
Completely. But because I feel like there's people who feel like,
he's great.
There's a lot of people who feel like, Bradley Beal, he should be saved. He don't deserve what's happening. And it's like there's no culpability for this dude. Listen, I was saying it last year. I pointed out plenty of times. Watch Bradley Beal on defense. He's so thirsty. He's one of those guys thirsty to make plays where he don't just focus on his man. He leaks off and leaves his man wide open. And that stresses the defense. When you're scoring, you're shooting good. A lot of those guys were shooting well. Not Bertans. Bertans was never shooting well. But everybody but Bertans was shooting well. Was shooting well. So that makes your defense look a little better.
Threes. They weren't, as a team, they weren't hitting threes even early. Even that.
Well, they were scoring. I said they were scoring the ball. They were scoring. They're one of the best offense. They were best.
In the 21st century basketball, you got to hit your threes. If you're not hitting,
but they were scoring though.
Yeah,
and they had, and that helped. But also, who you're playing helps as well. You know who you're playing now. So you take some of the games they were losing. They were losing to the teams that defend well. They were losing to the team. When they played against the Heat played good defense, and they didn't need a name to knock down a shot. It wasn't a name. It was a player with the ball, knock it down. Didn't matter the position. Bro, they had Redmond knock down a three. He's a backup center. He gets like 10 minutes a game.
What I'm saying is, I don't know how to wrap this the Wizards trade session over. I just say it was a good cleanup by Tommy Shepard. It was a good cleanup, and I don't know how else to explain it. You know what I mean? It's they got rid of Harrell for Ish Smith and a prospect, and then they got rid of two bad. I don't know how bad Spencer Dinwiddie is as a contract. I just think he didn't play well with Bradley Beal, and I don't like that. Like, I don't like saying, like, yo, fam, he didn't play well with Bradley Beal, but he just wanted him on his team as the guy. Bradley Beal wanted him on his team as the guy.
What is
you wanted a guy on your
team?
team. Now 6 months later, you don't want him on the team anymore. That's weird. That's strange, bro. And I don't know, man. But
that's is that not the makeup? Is that not the makeup of this league now?
What do you mean?
They're too chummy.
Okay, so yeah, we can go to the
wanting. I want my buddy on my team.
Well, that's another thing. KCP, Kadavius Caldwell-Pope, is a friend of Bradley Beal, and he did not get traded today. He didn't get traded today, and why is that? Like, because he has some trade value, and he probably should not be on his team next year. But he's a friend of Bradley Beal.
He might not be on the team next year.
He may or may not be, but like he's still on the team. He had more trade value today than he does in the draft.
What is the status on Bradley Beal though? What is he? What
he has a player option. So in the offseason, he can decline his player option and then sign for another max deal worth $240 million or $240.
That's like 245 or something like that, right?
Something like that, somewhere in that way. And if he signs elsewhere, he can get a year less, which is about $180 million. He can leave straight up without we can sign and trade him and give him his 240, and we get something mildly with compensation. But
so he's looking at 60 mil a year.
60, yeah, it's a 60 drop.
Yikes!
He wants the 60 mil, and that's why he's still here. He wants that. He wants that 240. That's why he's still here. And Ted Leonsis likes him because he's this mild man. I don't want to call him a good Negro. I swear I don't. I don't want to disrespect that. I'm not trying to disrespect him. But I don't think Ted Leonsis likes John Wall as the face of the franchise when John Wall closely affiliated with more hood lifestyle. With gang, he was a gang affiliated person. Obviously, he threw up bees on the court several times. This is a thing for him.
Identity wise, in your guys' opinions, you guys see them on a daily basis. Who is the second and third option solidified for this squad? Obviously, Beal would be the first option, right? So for you guys, who would you like to see take more of a commanding lead in the second and third?
There's nobody on this team that I would say that's solidified.
Wow.
That's
a problem. Is that not a problem?
Yeah, it's an issue. It's an issue. Kuzma, maybe. Kuzma.
As second?
The guy I probably wouldn't trade. Yeah, he's a second option. That's the guy I wouldn't trade. Unless there's a good haul back for him. Everybody on this team is open.
And who would be third? I mean, would that be Kristaps?
I haven't seen him play.
Ideally, but I'm saying ideally. I mean, when he's on the floor, he would be the second or third option.
Yeah. He'd be second. He'd be probably the second option. It's a team deep with guys that can be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rui can be a good player. He has and I said this when he was drafted. He has a high floor guy, low ceiling. He's gonna be whoever he is.
Okay.
And they drafted another guy, Denny, who's gonna be a good defensive player. And if he develops a left hand, he might be a great defensive player with a good offensive option. He's a high floor, low ceiling guy. Mm-hmm. Pittsburgh, they just drafted him last year. High ceiling because he can be definitely develop into a 3-and-D guy, and he has a low ceiling. They didn't go. The problem with Tommy Shepard when he drafts is I don't know what they do with they're scouting, but they definitely don't try to shoot. They don't hit they're not trying to hit the half point. They're not trying to hit a half court shot. They're not trying to hit a home run. Yeah. They're trying to bunt. They're bunting. Yeah. And that's what they did for the last 3 years. They bunted. And my wife is throwing gang signs at me. She's got the big bees up. Anyway, I don't know what's going on.
She's throwing the bees up?
Yeah, I'm about to die. She got the hit on me. She got on set. They just set.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
Nah, we good. No. I want to get to the James Harden shit because fuck the Wizards.
Oh damn! Jeez.
Like we can go back to my Ted Leon Fitzgerald little clip and we can just replay it. He failed again. You failed again, bro. Your man. No, wait. Davis Bertans was his biggest re-signing and his biggest contract, and then secondly, his second biggest contract was Spencer Dinwiddie, and they're both gone on February 10th, 2022, after 2 years.
So what?
It's not a so what, bro. That's a failure.
I'm gonna tell you why.
That's a failure, bro.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bertans was a bad signing contract-wise, but he got him out of the contract. Now, we want him to trade him fucking as soon as he could after he signed him. He didn't make the same mistake with Dinwiddie. He got the opportunity to get up under the Dinwiddie contract, and he did. Therefore, it's not, he made a signing. That shit happens. A lot of times, the ego, like a Brunfield would have doubled down on Dinwiddie. And I'm not trying. What I don't want us to do is use Brunfield as the measuring stick on how we grade Shepherd. And I do believe that we have done that to a degree, but there's other GMs who make those same mistakes. They basically, I made the decision. Let me double down on it because I don't want to look like a fucking idiot. No, he didn't do that. He used Spencer Dinwiddie and fucking Davis Bertans. Dinwiddie was a borderline all-star last year, but he's not an all-star player in general. Bertans is supposed to be a sniper. He ain't sniping nothing. The dude, if he dug up his nose and flick a booger, the shit would land on his finger. That's how bad he is.
Yikes.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Things for it. So, therefore, he's still the jury. I'm gonna say the jury is still out, but he's not. What I like about Shepherd is he's not afraid to make the trade, bro. He knew the type of hell he would go under by trading John Wall. He got Russell Westbrook, and then did what? He traded Russell Westbrook and got a haul for it. So I said, yes, listen, the time is going to come where people who say they want this, he's going to end up trading Bill if Bill isn't getting his shit together. Now, I think that's when like if he hits on Bill, great. If he doubles down on Bill and Bill just brings the franchise down because he's just a money bag, or if he flips Bill and gets a great deal for Bill, that's when you really got to judge him, bro. A lot of things like you never saw this roster. They said they were going to win a championship this year. They won the championship roster this year, right?
No, it wasn't. But it was a close to me. It was a close.
You were banking on guys like Thomas Bryant. I told you, Thomas Bryant is trash.
He's not
Rui Hachimura, you said Rui come back and Thomas Bryant come back. Rui's fucking soft as butter, you know what I'm saying, under the stove.
You bring it up a little bit. Hold on.
You are not a Rui fan, are you? You do not like him.
He doesn't like Rui. And that's fine. I think that the pick, even when it happened, I didn't like the pick when it happened. So I can't really even like be mad at T for not liking the pick or not liking the player. I watched him in Gonzaga, and I said he doesn't move laterally well enough to play the 4. I'm the host now, I guess. He needs to reconnect.
But are they playing? But do you feel that the coaching staff is playing up to his strengths?
Honestly, I don't know, because he just came back because he was wanted to break. Right. He wanted to break from basketball or whatever. And what
I'm saying is his style of game, right, that you saw in Gonzaga,
inside outside guy. He needs to develop his 3-point shot. That's my problem with him. For him to be viable in the NBA, because to me he was a small 5. Like, you know how the small 5s can thrive in college because they can bully guys. You know what I mean? They can bully people in college. I felt like that was what he was.
But is that not the makeup of the league right now? Like, there's no big.
No. I think what I'm talking about. Like, there's like Obina Akizi could never play in the NBA. Sean May didn't play in the NBA. Like, I'm talking about, he was in that vein to me when I watched him. And he's probably a little better than those guys. He moves better than those guys. I'm not trying to denigrate him that way. And Sean May, they were all great college players. You know what I mean? Lonnie Baxter, Todd Fuller, those type of guys. He was a big 4 for college.
Yeah.
So he's and I think he actually even played a lot of 3 in college, and he's too big. He's too big. He's too slow to play the 3 in the NBA. He's not a wing. He's not a wing. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. Is Wes Unseld Jr. like doing enough? I don't know.
I would love to see what this is just I don't, this kind of just came to me. I would love to see what Hakeem could do with him. Just throwing that out there.
Word. No,
I would love to see what Hakeem could do with him, because I think he's teachable.
Yeah, I like her. No, at that, to your point, yes. He's like
very teachable.
When I watch him play, he's like, I learned basketball out of a book.
The fundamentals. The fundamentals.
And he has mastered everything that he learned. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's mastered everything he learned, but I've learned it from a book, or I you know what I mean? I know.
Was that not? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but was that not Tim Duncan?
Yeah, but he's elite. He was 7 foot. And
Duncan was elite. I'm not right. Duncan was elite. No disrespect to Tim Duncan, but Duncan was Tim Duncan. One of the.
I agree with you. Yeah,
power forwards, if not the greatest power forward.
That's a good comparison. That was a good comparison. You know, Tim Duncan is 2 steps above Rui.
Tim Duncan's skill, right. Tim Duncan's skill,
and then Tim eclipsed right before this new era.
Right.
This is a whole different thing.
Right.
And maybe Rui could probably in 2003 probably took over the league. You know what I mean?
Listen, like, I would just love to see him get, a little bit of teaching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
even if he reached out to Tim Duncan, if he's willing.
Okay. But Wes Unseld Jr. is a great development type coach, so maybe that happens. I don't know, but right now to me Rui was a marketing draft pick because Cam Reddish was right there. To me, like, Cam Reddish was the home run, whether or not Cam Reddish turns into a player or not. You know what I mean?
Can we get a free Cam Reddish, please? This from New York. Can we get a campaign going from that? Because that was
free Cam Reddish. Yeah.
Free Cam Reddish, man, please. Yeah. My God.
Come on, man. Tom, give him some playing time. But Cam Reddish was the home run, right? That we didn't know exactly what he was from Duke. He only played a year.
Yeah.
And then we knew exactly what Rui was. He's a 3-4 guy, swing guy that played big. He played big in college. So it's we knew what that was.
We're dealing with a lot of different. We're dealing with a different era. We're dealing with different mentalities, right? We're dealing with a lot of different just situations that we aren't accustomed to seeing in, you know, us growing up. We weren't accustomed to seeing stuff like this. We just weren't.
It's a whole different world. It's a whole different
world, man. It's a whole different world.
And
I think there's just a lot of people that need to, you know, that need to get reached out to, man. You know,
I don't know. And like I said, I didn't want to spend a lot of time playing. We're spending more time.
So can we talk about? So we're gonna talk about the cancer that is James Harden.
Is how much? It's like I think it's like cancer versus cancer.
I don't think Harden. I honestly don't think Harden will ever. I don't think Harden will ever get a ring.